Hi, it's Kenya Moore for Perez TV. I know you're fabulous. Yes. Now twirl. I absolutely feel that I was vindicated this season. There were horrific lies told on me. People going on national television stating that I offered someone a fellatio, which was not true. And, things that could just really destroy somebody's reputation. For the truth to finally come out and for me to know that the whole world knows that all of those things were a lie, I feel completely vindicated. I do believe the audience knows the truth, and the truth is that none of those things that Apollo said about me were true. I have never seen him in LA. I've never propositioned him, and I've never acted or said anything that was inappropriate to him via text message or the like. I do take full responsibility for doing something I do feel was wrong, which was communicate with him to begin with via text when I wasn't friends with his wife at the time. I think that was wrong. The girls who really are compassionate and think with their hearts and not with the mindset of we just don't like you, meaning Candy, meaning Cynthia, meaning Claudia. Those women have all apologized to me for the way they judged me because they thought that I had done those things. The people who refused to apologize to me or acknowledge that they were wrong and they did things and said things that were wrong to me were Phaedra, NeNe, and Portia.
I love you, Cynthia. You're my sister.
I think with Cynthia the whole time, I think she has been in NeNe's shadow, but since I've known her, she's always been outspoken and direct and very honest. So that's the Cynthia I've always known. I honestly think the demise of their relationship came from NeNe just being so overpowering with Cynthia that she just was stifled. And that's not necessarily NeNe's fault. That's her personality. And Cynthia, I think, just needed whatever the motivation was to see it for herself and to break free of that kind of toxic relationship.
I'm not gonna beg anybody to be my friend.
Okay, well, you ain't got to worry about it no more.
I do not think that Candy and Phaedra will ever be friends again. I think Candy is just an amazing person. She is very honest, very loyal, she's forthright, and she's very kind, and she's very generous. And I just think that she's given Phaedra everything. And as soon as Phaedra became friends with NeNe, I just think that between NeNe and Portia, they just turned her against Candy. And I think that Candy is just very hurt. And I think that she likely will not ever be friends with her again. Wow, what would I rate Claudia as a first-time housewife? I would have to give her a solid 9. And the only reason I'm giving her a 9, because she's a 10 across the board. She's beautiful, she's vivacious, she's funny, she's engaging, she's sincere. I will only take a point away because she's got to up her style a little bit. And she knows that we tease her all the time about her personal style. I'd just like to see her up her fashionista a little bit. I agree that the show needs to see the single women. You always need single women because, the show started off with 2 single women. It started off with Sheree, who was single. She had been divorced, and Kim, who was single. And we never saw Kim's boyfriend. So one could argue that that was interesting because you never saw her boyfriend. But I do think that you need a few single girls on the show that are dating because, there are a lot of single women out there. And I think that the audience really roots for the single girls to find love. And, people identify with that. The show doesn't revolve around NeNe. She might be the oldest housewife in terms of seniority. Catch that shade. I think that you can't make calls like that. You're not in casting. You don't own Bravo. You don't write anyone's checks. So let Bravo decide who they want to bring back. You don't have anything to do. Why bully Bravo into saying, oh, well, I'll come back if, this person or that person doesn't come back? Then that just means you're trying to get those people fired, and that speaks to your character. She needs the show as much as the show needs her. She just bought a brand new house. She doesn't have any other, $1 million paycheck, so she'll be back. I think it's pretty clear when NeNe said what she said at the last reunion. You write the check, I write the check. Let's put our differences aside for charity. You pick the charity, and I'll donate $20,000. I donated the $20,000. I posted the check online because I didn't want anyone to think I had not made the donation. It was irrefutable. And now she's using every single excuse as to why she won't donate. The point is, you talk about how rich you are. You just bought a $2 million house. It's $20,000 for some children, for their education, for the betterment of these young lives. And it just speaks to her character. She never intended to write that check. Never. And I bet you she never will. Just say you're not gonna write the check and make the donation and just be the a-hole that everybody knows you to be. I cringed when I saw Apollo come back into the home. It was just kind of erratic. I don't know Apollo to be a violent person, but I'm not married to him.
Away from me.
You wanna talk to me? I built this whole house. Stop playing with me, Phaedra. You took everything from me?
Go away from me with this.
It was just a little cringeworthy because you just kind of didn't know what was happening. So that kind of made me uncomfortable. I also didn't like the cleansing of the home with the apostle and you know, in front of the children and saying that you were cleansing the house of demons and things like that. And it was very clear she was talking about Apollo. And I just think that those kind of things should not be exposed to children about their dad.
She escaped a good butt whooping.
A lot of us have dysfunctional relationships with our mothers. We don't really know the whole story with NeNe and her mother or her father. And we see the dysfunction often with Candy and her mother. I've been very vocal about the dysfunction with my mother, Claudia and her mother.
I'm a strong woman. My mother didn't raise me.
I knew about your issues.
NeNe, don't run away.
What is the backstory?
We love you.
At the end of the day, we share sisterhood.
It's a common thread that we all have and we struggle, and that's something that can really bring us together if we talked about it more. And I think that what you'll see on the third reunion show is that NeNe really opening up more about her life and who she is in terms of what happened with her and her mother. And I think that it humanizes her a little bit. It's a side to her you'll probably never see again. I was shocked at some of the things that occurred during this next reunion. It is epic. Yeah, I think everyone was shocked at the things that happened.